This is the scene at Graceland University in Lamoni, Iowa. Students with homework on their minds, but many of them are not aware of what's happening just a few feet from them. Look at the scowl on that woman's face. My goodness. And down the hallway, this student checking on her mail. But just down the hall, Caucus for the Democrats. Inside the Memorial Student Center main room, an historic place at Graceland University, this is the scene. Lots of people, a good turnout tonight. The weather is good. So this is what a caucus looks like. People that I know throughout Decatur County are here to show their support for the political system. Here are some of the organizers. Let's see if we can get a comment from Derry. Derry, would you please state your full name?
Derry Kiernan.
And what has been your role the last several months?
I've been an organizer for the Hillary Clinton campaign.
Safe to say you've worked your butt off.
I'm this close to dead right now.
And then behind me, the man behind the local push, the lawyer extraordinaire, George Jones. George, what are you feeling tonight?
I'm just wondering if you've gotten your wife onto our side yet, Paul. That's my main concern.
All I know is I slept in separate bedrooms last night over this.
All right. Well, we've got a team of Hillary stickies that we can send out after her. Just point her out and we'll go surround her.
I want you to work on her. Okay. Then there's Susie Pratt. We all know and love her. And then your beloved wife, Celeste.
Yes.
Celeste, what are you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling strong for Hillary.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
I see Dick Higdon and his father in the crowd.
Yes.
Dick, what do you think? You've worked hard for this campaign.
Excited.
Who are you going for tonight?
Hillary.
That's Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, I think that's her last name. Yeah.
A couple of seasoned caucus veterans. Joe Shelton, you've been through this before. This is not your first rodeo.
Not at all.
A little anticipation tonight? A little butterflies in the stomach?
No. Why should there be?
I don't know.
I don't know who I'm going with yet, but...
So you should have a sign on your back that says, "Be nice to me, I'm undecided."
Well, when I go over to O'Malley, they'll know they need to be nice to us to pull us back to somebody.
This would be Cindy Pitt.
Hi!
Cindy, in 12 seconds or less, who are you supporting and why?
Hillary Clinton, because she's for equal rights for women and for the security of our children. She has the most international experience that we have.
I've never seen Cindy Pitt this serious.
Registered to vote. You can do that on the far end of this table down here. You do have to be a resident of Iowa and a resident of Lamoni or Fayette or Bloomington Townships. And you also have to be a Democrat, or at least declare yourself as such for tonight. Okay? I think that's it. So everybody make sure you've done that. Generally, the Hillary people are going to congregate on this side and the Bernie people over here. And just find Bill Russell. He's your O'Malley rep, if that's going to be you, okay? One other thing.
Very loyal American. Don Brashears is here. Don, I'm excited. Are you?
Yeah.
Would this be your wife?
Oh, yes.
Okay, good to see you. And here is Howard Booth. Howard.
It's a great night.
It's an American night.
If you haven't registered to vote, you do have to fill this out, but you need to go sign in and see if...
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Howard, what is your role?
You're going to do it for Hillary, right?
What is your role tonight?
I can't remember what they call me. I'm supposed to keep everybody on this side.
The Hillary side.
On the Hillary side, right. And I've been talking to people. I'm not trying to pressure them. I don't need to. She's such a good candidate that she speaks for herself.
Thank you, Howard Booth.
Yeah.
And here are a couple of my friends.
How are you?
And I don't believe they're here to caucus for the Democrats.
Actually, I'm here. I saw on Facebook where Paul Davis was giving rides to the caucus. I'm here for a ride.
I'm waiting for Ted Cruz to show up. I thought he was going to be here at this caucus.
He's not going to be here.
We heard that Hughes had to sleep in the guest room last night.
How did you hear that?
Oh, I heard you tell someone. I thought that was hilarious.
Nice crowd in Lamoni. And there's Jan Kearns in the distance. Lori Long is here. Lori, I'm excited. Are you?
I'm excited.
Do you know who you're going to go for?
I do.
We won't ask you to divulge it on camera. Yes, we will. Who are you supporting?
I'm supporting Hillary.
Good for you, sister.
Yeah.
We see that they are signing people in. This is part of the process. Bill Moraine has done this for years.
What is this? What did you say?
Bill, would you give us a comment? How is it going tonight? Can you give us an idea of the turnout? You've been through many of these. I've spotted Al Blair and his beloved wife. Al, this is not your first rodeo.
No, I've been here before.
It's still exciting, isn't it?
Oh, it is exciting, but we're tired. We found a seat. That was the most important thing.
The night hasn't even started, and Kay and Al are tired.
Well, we were tired before we ever came here.
Well, sleep nights.
Right.
Sleep nights. Al Blair, ladies and gentlemen. These are some of the Graceland University students. Oh my gosh, I see Will Ward, who I believe one day people will be caucusing for. That's what I was thinking inside. Will, who do you like tonight?
I like Bernie Sanders.
Why?
I think he's a good pick because I feel like he's a guy who will fight for everyone and not just the billionaire class.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Will Ward, who actually has Canadian roots.
Yeah.
Go figure. There's Max Pitt.
Hi, Paul.
He's serious tonight, just like his wife.
Yeah.
Max, isn't this a great process?
It's okay, Paul.
It's okay. Have you figured out who you're going to pull for tonight?
I'm going to vote for Hillary tonight, Paul.
Okay, well I can tell that this interview should be over, and I'll move down the aisle.
It's nice talking to you,
Max
Paul.
Pitt, ladies and gentlemen. We stop at Jim Jones and his beloved. This caucus experience, not the first time for you.
No, not at all.
It's exciting, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
Do you sense tension in the air tonight?
Not at all.
Do you think we will go home early?
I doubt it.
After the first round, look now, the Judy Batter is laughing.
I'm here. This is my first time.
This is my first one too, and I'm very excited. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. Some of the people. Sherry Moraine is working hard. Sherry, exactly what is your job tonight? Tell the people at home.
Paul, did you bring Barb McCain with Hal?
Sherry, you've been through this before.
I have.
Have you served in this role before?
No, I have never been part of the Clinton leadership before. I'm checking people in who are here to caucus for Hillary, so we know how many we have in our caucus.
Can you any idea the number yet? A couple hundred? 100? Sure, okay, I can't ask you to do that now.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 dozen. How many is that?
Can you remember the last
90.
time a caucus site was here on Graceland campus?
I have never been at one, but this is my 4th or 5th caucus, so no, I don't recall. We were a much smaller group before, but they're all 3 precincts from Lamoni are here, and in the past years, one precinct has been one place, another precinct has been another place, so they were smaller groups.
Okay.
And this combines 3 precincts.
Well, this is going to be an exciting night.
It is a very exciting.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you, sir.
Sherry Moraine, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, and there's some other recognizable local celebrities. Stu McDowell, who did not see the movie this weekend, but he's here for...
I know I did.
You did. We'll get to that later.
I went on a Friday night.
Are you excited about tonight here in Lamoni?
I've never been to a caucus, so I thought this is a really visible caucus night. I was in California this morning, Los Angeles, watching the news, and it's all about the caucus. And I think, I'm going to be home tonight. I better go. So here I am.
Exercising his right as an American, ladies and gentlemen, Stu McDowell.
Think about it.
This is the scene in Lamoni, Iowa. 2016 caucus, the Democrats.
Returns, which allows for $1.50 to give to the Democratic Party. That's a good way to help see to it that we get money that some really small contributors like us, and this fine gentleman here coming to use the mic. Letters from officials and so forth. Oh, there you go. He's homeschooled about 9 of his own kids, and he gets about $6,000 for each one. So he has a good salary just for letting his wife start passing the envelope. They can pass it on down the line, go back, and come on around. Go to John, anybody. Nominated Bill Russell. Any other nominations? I'm not going to call it to stop real quick because I want to be sure everybody's had a chance. The first one was 51 to 49. You got great eyes, Bill.
Okay, and we hear it. Yes. Today we are lucky to be Democrats. And Sanders O'Malley are outstanding. Any would save us from the true national embarrassment of the Republican alternatives. Indeed, the Republican front runners, if successful, and they could be given the vagaries of politics and the growing power of the conservative right, if successful, this could be not just an embarrassment, but a nightmare of biblical proportions for our country and for the world. So we need to be especially careful tonight as we play our role in the process of selecting the nominee. The pundits are framing the Democratic nominating contest as a choice between visionary, inspiring leadership on one side and competent, pragmatic leadership on the other. Idealism versus realism, if you will. Hillary herself said, "We campaign in poetry, we govern in prose." And it is, of course, a matter of emphasis. But to follow the framing for a bit, I'm not quite ready to surrender the inspiration poetry thing on behalf of Hillary. I have been inspired by her poetry and vision over the years, especially building the case for universal health reform, economic equity, women's rights, children's rights, as well as human rights generally. In a recent campaign rally, she had an opportunity in response to a question to explain the religious underpinnings of her commitment to public service. It was a humble, golden rule, quote, "lift up others to find faith for themselves," kind of response. Contrast this to the more exclusive, self-centered religious narratives of the other party candidates. It reminded me of a Benjamin Franklin aphorism. When I was teaching at Graceland, Benjamin was one of my heroes. I just recently finished reading another biography about him. His aphorism: "The most acceptable service to God is doing good to others." That's Hillary. She hasn't been a self-proclaimed socialist, like some current members of the party, but she articulates well, indeed she embodies, the vision of progressive liberalism that is the soul of the Democratic Party. Even more important, I believe, Hillary is clearly the best candidate on the competent, pragmatic leadership front. On the entire range of public policy issues, she is, as was her husband, a policy wonk and effective politician. Harry Truman, another one of my favorites, once said, "Show me a statesman who isn't also a politician, and I'll show you someone who's not a statesman." They didn't get elected. In fact, Hillary is probably the most competent and experienced candidate for the presidency in recent memory. Benefiting from being First Lady, some would say co-president with her husband Bill. Benefiting, as she does, from her service as senator from New York with a long list of policy accomplishments. Benefiting from a game-changing tenure as Secretary of State, where together with her boss, Barack Obama, she charted a new course in diplomacy, emphasizing nuance and negotiation over boisterous militarism and confrontation. And pointing to such groundbreaking foreign policy initiatives as the Iran nuclear weapons treaty. Tough but well-liked in the world, She's, I understand, the most widely traveled Secretary of State in our history. She probably won't be banned from traveling in Great Britain. And will be ready to take the domestic and foreign policy reins on day one. In Hillary, we have a candidate with both poetry and prose, vision and pragmatism, someone who can not only be elected, but be successful when she gets there. Hopefully to embody the progressive vision for 8 years. It's an aside and not terribly important, but she is 5 years younger than Bernie. I'm just saying, we love Bernie. We love Martin. But for the good of the party, for the good of the nation, for the good of the world, we must nominate Hillary Rodham Clinton for President of the United States.
Don't be so excited, young folks.
Hi, I'm so excited to be here as a student, as a citizen of the United States. I've never gone to Caucus before, and I'm really excited to see so many other students here. I want a president that works for the people, that works for me and for you instead of big corporations and big business. And that's exactly what Bernie does. He has a consistent record of working for the people, and he's refusing to rely on corporate control that has been so prevalent in our political system. He's always stood on the right side of history as far as civil rights, working for minorities, and equal rights for the LGBT community. He has the support of nearly 200 economists too, so we know that his plans are economically viable. And he brings the compassion that has been so dismally lacking in our political system. So if you... I'm so glad to see so many students here supporting, whether you're on Hillary's side or on Bernie's side, but especially as a student, I think Bernie is the right candidate for us. He's working for higher education to be an equal opportunity for everyone, and he is working to raise minimum wage, which right now is not a livable wage, and as we go into the workforce, we want to be able to have a wage that we can actually live off of. So, I'm excited to see you.
I'm a freshman here at Graceland, in Terry Isley. I'm supporting Hillary tonight because I believe she has the most well thought out policies, whether economically, expanding on healthcare, student debt, and LGBT issues. I also believe she has unmatched experience on the international stage, which at this time in this country's history, it's very important to have the experience on the international stage. Most importantly, I think she can beat Trump. And for me, choosing a candidate was kind of a hard choice, as both the two major candidates here have pretty similar policies, actually. In the end, though, I believe Hillary can make change for people now. There are many people who have been left behind in this country, and we need to help them now. And idealism is not the way to do that. I think Hillary has more of a chance working with Democrats in the House and the Senate to get things done, and working across the aisle with Republicans because of her more moderate beliefs. I think she can make the world a better place, and the United States a fairer and more equal place for everybody. And that's why I support Hillary Clinton.
As a Democrat, so
no apologies neither.
I just had a couple of thoughts, and these are purely off the cuff. First of all, what's going to come out of the night? I honestly don't know. But what I do know is it won't get here. I mean, depending, Bernie might win, Hillary might win. It's pretty close. It's also pretty close in New Hampshire, so I don't know who will be the final nominee. But what I do know is that this should not be a coronation ceremony. In other words, it's not a coronation ceremony of the same old, same old. And when I say same old, I grew up in the 1990s. I was inspired by Bill Clinton. I liked the Clintons in terms of what they stood for. I liked their bragging and their pragmatic politics. And I also saw them sabotage each other, or I should say themselves, again and again and again. That has nothing to do with the fact that there was a vast right-wing conspiracy, which there is. Or the fact that Hillary is held to a double standard because she is a woman. But let's talk about clearly what's at stake here. Now, it is likely that you will see a Hillary Clinton nomination, but, this is something where ideas do matter this election cycle. You have the furthest right that the other side has been in 2 generations. Ronald Reagan would not fit in this Republican Party. You need a clear alternative. And when I say clear alternative, I don't mean moderate. Moderate today is right-wing 20 years ago. You need to ratchet it back. The way you do that is you send a clear signal as to what differentiates this party from the others. Now that idea may be embodied in the Bernie Sanders candidacy, maybe, maybe not. But it will be embodied in his ideas. Secondly, and yes, I'm going to get personal on this one, so bear with me. 22 top secret classified emails now that we know of on a private server. No, Benghazi is not a conspiracy that the Obama administration covered up. Lie number 1. Number 2, Hillary had something to do with it. Lie number 2. Putting things that could put our national security, diplomats, and intelligence at risk on a private server. Lie number 3, anyone? No, I'm sorry. We do not need baggage that our candidates create for themselves. And if they wind up being our candidate, then they must have to explain themselves and justify that behavior in front of our caucus and in front of all the other people who are going to be voting in this country. Number 1. Number 2, when you get one Clinton, you get both Clintons, warts and all. Warts and all. Bill Clinton is one of the best politicians that his generation has ever seen. He is a walking policy wonk, and he does feel your pain. He also brings baggage to the table that he partially created. Yes, a lot was foisted on him, and he was the subject of partisan witch hunts, but he brings it with him. Hillary Clinton does the same, and I don't think that's any secret or should not be very controversial. Bernie has no baggage, except his ideas. Bring it. Over there, show it. Bring it. And the best we can do is say that he has an inconsistent record on the NRA in a rural state, or that he's a self-identified 70-odd-year-old Democratic Socialist Jew from Vermont. Then you got another thing that you need to bring to the table. I'm not here because I'm a Bernie supporter. I'm not here because I expect Bernie to win. I'm here because I want an alternative. And maybe that will be something. Thank you for coming. This isn't something that we are going to see necessarily resulting in a Bernie Sanders win. What it is going to be is a message that is sent to the DNC, to all the places where Hillary Clinton, it is assumed she will sweep the nomination because she is the best qualified. That's not necessarily a universal consensus. And that you have a firm platform of ideas to run on. Maybe those will be Hillary's that she adopts after she trounces Bernie. I don't know. Maybe that will be Bernie's when he succeeds in trouncing her. I don't know. But the party is best served by having a real contest of ideas and a real contest for qualified, idealistic, principled candidates. Thank you.
They are now showing their sign of hands. And those are the Bernie people. And it does kind of look interesting tonight, John. I can't remember the last time Graceland was the staging area for a caucus. Can you?
I can't.
Bill?
I was always at the Methodist Church the only other time.
Because you're older than dirt, so if anybody should remember it, it's you.
Yeah, well, not necessarily.
They are doing the official counting, and it's not nearly as scientific as I thought it would be. Who's to say he can't fudge his numbers 5 this way or that way? Very interesting. Wouldn't you agree? I thought it would be more scientific. Didn't you?
Yeah, I really did.
Yeah. What about you? Wouldn't you have thought it'd be more scientific? Yes, okay. Always being negative, I know what you're saying. And here we have the undecideds, I think.
Yes.
You just don't know what you want to do.
Oh, we know what we want to do.
Well, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just 5 tonight. That's pretty good. You should go ahead and put a target on your back that says, "Be nice to me. I'm undecided."
I want them to take me out to dinner, a movie, and flowers would be nice.
That's against the rules. Isn't it, Barbara?
Yeah. But it still would be nice.
It would be a nice perk. Matt Shelton is really holding court here, ladies and gentlemen. And he's got his chief sidekick, Ted Smith from Lamoni High School.
I'm going to use that against you for the rest of my life.
Gentlemen.
My cheap sidekick.
So you consider the source. So
What's that?
It's going to show up on Facebook.
Come on.
What'd you say?
Who's this for, Paul?
And while we wait for the Bernie people to be counted, I would say that the Hillary group is a little subdued tonight. Not a whole lot of talking going on. Listen, Becky, what are you thinking? What's in your heart? What do you think?
Oh, well, it's close.
We've worked hard for Hillary.
We have worked hard for Hillary, and I think she's going to be a great candidate.
Tom Moraine has been a member of caucuses over the years. And Tom, this is a pretty good crowd tonight, huh?
Yes, it is. He remembers back in 1882. 1882, you remember the one?
That was his first caucus.
Tonight's caucus is double the university students as 2008 in the Obama caucus.
How do you explain it? The movement behind Bernie?
There's a more campus awareness of getting out to the caucus and stop playing StarCraft 2. I think that's what it is.
StarCraft 2, one of the favorite video games of the day. And sir, who are you? I think you're somebody special, aren't you?
Not that I'm aware of. I'm Jared Ragland.
And Jared, what's your role here tonight?
I'm caucusing for Hillary.
Okay, well, good to have you here.
Other than that,
are you a little worried at all the hands you see over there for Bernie Sanders?
You know what? We're here to make a decision, and we're deciding on a Democrat for President of the United States.
Well said.
One where.
Who were the uncommitted?
There were 5 or 6 of them.
Oh, okay. Well, go ahead.
The uncommitteds seem to be ostracized right now.
But I can show you.
That was their choice.
If Hillary people want to go over and talk to the uncommitted too, you're welcome. The Bernie people talk. But I mean, I agree with you in principle, but you don't count. You don't align with somebody. So now it's Sanders 196, Clinton 103, and uncommitted 1. So we'll just use the number to determine the allocation of delegates would be 299 because the one uncommitted doesn't count. So it's going to be about 17 to 8. Yeah, no, it's going to be about. It's going to be not quite whatever's less than 2 to 1. So 16 to 9. The Hillary people get 16 delegates, and Bernie people get 16 delegates, and the Hillary people get 9 delegates.
16 delegates to 9 delegates.